where'd it go? Well, forget that. Never mind. I'm like, I have this thing in here somewhere.
I was sitting here waiting for it. I was like, am I going crazy? I can't hear it.
Yeah, where is it? It's like it's missing. That's bull crap. That's some booty. Oh well. Anyway, all right. So, welcome to Wrestling with Tim. With Ian. Hi, Ian. How you doing?
What's up, man?
How you been?
I've been good. It's been a minute.
Yeah. You got married and you threw everything to turmoil. It's all your fault.
Well, I mean, it's not like you didn't keep yourself busy while I was gone, but yes, I got married.
I have not done many of these since you got married because I have been nonstop busy on like a bunch of things. Where I finally got a moment to like, I had a friend. I keep telling him about wrestling, and he's like, "This sounds so stupid." I was like, "You should watch some wrestling with me." So I finally convinced him.
That I know.
Yes.
Okay.
L. Yeah. So I try not to dox people.
Yeah. We ain't giving out governments here.
No, or locations or nothing, but just general ideas. But yeah, no. We had my friend Jason spent the time with me on the couch. It was actually really cool a setup. Like, I was really proud of how good it was. I got the 2 mics set up. We got beverages. Got the thing on. You can't really hear the TV, so the audio's not bleeding through too much, but you still got to hear us kind of react. Mm-hmm. I thought it came out pretty good.
It was great.
It was it was so much fun. We were actually recorded 2 of them back to back because of how much fun we had on the first one. So the second one will drop at some point, and it's the Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, so I listened to that first one.
Uh-huh.
And then I heard you go, "You want to do another one?" And I was like, "Oh, bet he's gonna drop another one of these episodes soon." And it just hasn't happened yet. I was like, "Oh,
no." The second one's coming. It's already produced and edited. It's just I'm waiting for like a lull. You know, next time I'm like really busy, I'll just be like, "Hey, here, have this." But I think I want to like get some people together and just like batch record like 8 of them. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm
like
down.
Here, just spend an afternoon and watch wrestling with me. I have some other people in mind, but I can host up to 4 people, so it'd be just sweet. Which that might be even more chaotic.
How much of like old wrestling matches has your wife seen?
My wife, that poor thing, has seen so much wrestling. I did this idea came because like at one point, when I knew she was going to get married to me, I was like, "Hey, you want to watch some wrestling you haven't watched before?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I put her on like the TLC 2, I think, from like WrestleMania, where Edge spears Jeff Hardy off the thing, and I gave her the match where Joey Mercury's face got ripped apart with that ladder. Oh,
that man got tenured that day.
Yeah, I of course made her watch. If there's listen, barring what I said on that podcast where it was a watch along with the Hell in a Cell from Undertaker Mankind, if someone asks you, "Hey, what match should I start with?" That's like automatically top 5. Like, hey, you need to understand this is crazy. That's in there every time, every single time.
My go-to match telling people. So this is about to sound heretical for me. I've not watched that Hell in a Cell match all the way through.
No,
I've watched it in bits and pieces, but I've not sat down and watched that Hell in a Cell.
Do yourself a favor and go start it with that podcast and just re-listen to it and watch it.
Just watch along with it.
Yeah, because you can hear like I'm telling Jason things that are happening. I'm like, "Hey, listen," because I told him at one point, I'm like, "Look, what you're about to see is real," and he's like, "Okay." And it's Mankind is not. He's through the table, his shoulders jacked up. You can see it because he's like, he's kind of, and he rolls off this stretcher, and he's not supposed to. They're like, "Dude, it's okay, it's fine." He goes, "No, they didn't get their money's worth. I gotta go back." And I'm like, that was the only time that was ever real. And then they were like, "That's a really smart idea. We can," you know what I mean?
Somebody needs to tell.
They've used that for years.
Somebody forgot to tell Mick Foley that wrestling isn't real.
It's real to him.
Yeah. No, so my go-to match, so like when I was getting our buddy Corey back into wrestling.
Yeah.
I showed him Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic at Takeover
Ooh.
Portland.
Oh, see, but that's a match you can't. If you show that to somebody, they have to understand what wrestling is first, right?
Why? It's two dudes that are way too big to be doing the flips that they're doing.
No, I agree. I agree. But it's like, to me, it's like, why do I appreciate this if I don't understand what it is? You know what I mean? I feel like you need to have a somewhat of an understanding to appreciate that. It's like Keith Lee. You know, one of the things you could show somebody is Keith Lee bouncing Adam Cole out of the screen. That was funny, but it's just a moment.
I instinctively go to a lot of the black and gold NXT for like, oh, you want to get into wrestling? Watch this. It's great.
Shinsuke. One of the matches I'm building up to is Shinsuke versus Sami Zayn.
Great match.
And when you find out they did no talking before, they never touched each other, they never wrestled each other, they've never even had a conversation. Good Lord, dude. The chemistry, just how good those two are. And one of the matches I'm going to have on real soon, a friend of mine, is Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. because here's the thing. Wrestling is not just uber violence. Sometimes it's stupid. And that is okay.
Sami Zayn's great, dude.
He is a utility. He's a five-tool player.
Five-tool
Put him in
player.
any spot, and he will kill it. He's a future world champion. I'm calling it.
That being said, how do you feel about the Sammy Hogan allegations?
Sorry?
This whole Sammy Hogan thing where like he doesn't put people over and all that. Have you not heard any of this?
What do you mean he doesn't? No. Explain this to me.
So there's this thing going around on Twitter and Instagram, you know, where all the toxic people live, that Sami Zayn is becoming Hulk Hogan because he doesn't put anybody over. Because of the Chad Gable thing, and everybody and people wanted Braun Breaker to win at Money in the Bank, and
so let me get this right. Tell me if I got this right, okay? The man people have been clamoring to win a title. The man people were backing to beat Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber before WrestleMania. That same man that headlined WrestleMania Night 1 to win the World Tag Team Championships. And it wasn't a mistake to put that match as the main event. That same guy that has been beaten by every single person gets one good win at Mania and gets to defend his title against what should be an unstoppable monster. And all of a sudden, he's Hulk Hogan. I got that right?
Pretty much.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Everybody wanted Chad Gable to win. Now everybody wanted Braun Breaker to win.
I was there. I was there too. I wanted Chad Gable to win. I wanted him to beat Gunther. Guess what? He didn't. You can't always have what you want.
People wanted Chad to win at Clash. People wanted Braun to win at Money in the Bank.
Okay.
And so everybody's calling him Sammy Hogan. But you don't agree?
Not at all. Not at all.
Cool. I don't either. The fact that his reign just hit like 300 or not 300.
Not even 100 days.
I misspoke. Like 100 days.
Yeah, I was like, he just won that at Mania.
Yeah.
And look at the thing he won it with, right? Like he did that freaking brainbuster off the top rope, bro. I went back and watched that like yesterday. That was crazy. Still,
that'd be like another match I'd show somebody.
Yeah, Well, that's the other thing. Gunther's got a ton of matches you could show people, right?
And the thing about
him and Sheamus and Drew, and
him and Ilya from that one NXT UK episode. You know the one.
Yep, absolutely. We'll go to the NXT UK one where they were fighting for the UK. Oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah,
bruh.
I'd show that match.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's brutal in a whole other aspect. You know, they're just killing each other.
And it's mid-pandemic, so you can hear every time they connect.
Yep. Some people were slapping their leg, in the middle of the pandemic. Others were slapping each other, like for real. You know what I mean? It was an interesting moment. But anyway, hey, let's run through Money in the Bank real quick, the results that happened, and we'll give our thoughts on it. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, let me also pull up uh, who you picked, who I picked. You know, it's
Oh
just to
gosh, this
see
was so long ago. So
how we panned out there. You know, because I have a
for
feeling.
understanding,
Okay.
Money in the Bank happened a week
Oh,
after I
see,
got married.
this man is. I just want to point out before you begin, this man is already making excuses. But go
No,
ahead.
no, 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 no. I'm not making
No,
excuses. Not
that's
making
cool. That's cool.
excuses.
Don't worry about it, bro.
So because it was the week after I got married, I was on my honeymoon,
Uh
and
huh.
I didn't want anything spoiled. My wife and I both do the predictions. We
Sure,
didn't want
sure.
anything spoiled, so I deleted Twitter for the day because I get notifications every time WWE posts.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I stayed off social media all day, and then I made the mistake of forgetting to turn off my YouTube notifications.
Oh, you're dumb.
So
You should have deleted YouTube.
Sunday morning, all of the wrestling pages that I follow and stuff are like, this happened in this moment and what, and I was like, oh
Oh no.
son of a.
So when did you actually get to watch it?
We started Sunday night after we got home. We watched the first match, and then Monday we watched the rest of the show.
What did Lauren think of the show? I feel like I asked because because I feel like she does kind of what Michelle does, where she's like, cool, you know. Michelle will watch it with me, but
No,
she's
she
just kind
had
of.
the women's Money in the Bank match specifically. She
Mm-hmm.
had moments where she was like, "Oh my god!" Like she was
and
reacting to stuff.
and correctly so. That
Mm-hmm.
match, the women like props to them for that. That was oof.
I had to explain that she's seen Braun Breaker wrestle live because it was so long ago she forgot who he was.
Yeah, he mauled
Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes before he got fired.
And we never saw Cameron Grimes again.
Poor guy.
That should be Braun's. That should have been Braun's
I
gimmick. He
so
kills you and then you lose your job.
so I talked a little bit of crap about your picks, but here's the problem.
We
Um,
tied.
Everybody tied, but two people. One person got one, and the other person got three. Everybody else got two.
I try and see.
One of the reasons for that was that main event, Damian Priest, Seth Rollins, became a triple threat match.
It was a no contest for the rest of us.
Therefore, I thought it was in the best interest to go, well, Damian Priest won, but, like, did he? And the thing, and you know I'm being impartial because I picked Damian Priest to win that match. You did not.
I thought that was the most 50-50 match.
Oh, I agree. This whole card, this was a hard one, and the numbers show it for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the Money in the Bank men's match, to me, was like, I think Drew will win, but I really want Jey Uso to win.
See, I really wanted Chad Gable to win.
Chad Gable's got a whole story going on, and I didn't expect that to happen. Listen, Chad Gable's going to get there. He's going to get there. He doesn't have to be right now.
I am realizing I am becoming a Chad Gable stan, and I'm okay with it.
Like, she's fantastic.
The man German suplexed a ladder, and I paused the show and had to laugh for like 5 minutes. And I looked at Lauren, and I was like, "You don't understand why this is so funny. Just trust me, it's great."
The man, he's German suplexed Braun Strowman, bro. Just held him there, like, I got you, dog. What's up? And then
it wasn't just a German suplex; crazy. It was a rollout German suplex.
Yeah. He's insanely powerful. He's gonna be fine. And this is the thing, like, have you seen Cody Rhodes' YouTube show yet?
Yeah, I watched the Bailey one, and I got like 3/4 of the way through the LA Knight one.
So in the one with LA Knight, he talked about how, do you think like people put us against each other because, you can't.
Yeah, I saw that part,
guys. And he made an interesting point. He goes, "No, I think a lot of people can be near the top, and I think WWE has a really weird problem, maybe opposite of AEW at this moment, where a lot of their guys are flirting with the top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jey Uso just flirting up there, Chad Gable, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. There's so many guys that are just like at that area that it's like crazy.
They're main eventers without the title.
Yeah, Sami Zayn's
main eventers without world titles.
Yeah. Owens,
the same
Orton.
thing.
I mean, there's so many. And what a great problem to have, right? But because of that, we're all like, well, I like this guy, but he's not getting the... And I'm like, I get it. But bro, like wrestling is a rotation if nothing else, and it's getting all that stuff's gonna come up.
I was listening to a podcast, and I'm pretty sure it was Wrestle Talk. It might have been not Sam, but I'm pretty sure it was Wrestle Talk.
I don't trust
And
Wrestle Talk. They make up some stuff.
anyway,
Sorry, just throwing out my name. I listen to I watch What Culture a lot.
They made up. They brought up a point where not everybody is going to be a world champion, and it's not just because this era. It's always been like that, where not everybody gets to be world champion. And
that is correct.
It hurt me to think about the fact that I might not see another Kevin Owens world title reign. I might never get to see Sami Zayn be world champion.
Finn Balor.
That was my next one. Finn Balor probably won't have another world title reign. That one hurts
love
the most.
Finn Balor. Because he deserves it. He hasn't earned it. He deserves it.
Yeah. God.
But here's the thing. We live in a space where if WWE had to pivot and put the title on one of those guys,
they could.
They wouldn't be out of place.
No.
Right? And that's the whole point. Oh my God. I hate Matt Cardona annoys the crap out of me. But he has this thing he says all the time that he's not wrong. You just need to always be ready. All of these guys, he's so annoying. All these guys are always ready. They're right there. You need them. That's why I thought Jey Uso as a Money in the Bank holder, right? A person that if something happens, and God forbid something happens to Cody, God forbid something happens, to Damian Priest, whatever. This dude can run out, cash in, and it's not going to be a problem. He doesn't look out of place as a main eventer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's
it's
the
a
beauty
great
of
problem to have.
Exactly. It's fantastic. And this is why I have a problem with the Sammy Hogan thing, because I'm like, no, Sami Zayn has probably more than anybody on this Money in the Bank sheet I'm looking at right now. Maybe him and maybe Jey Uso have had so much story in the last 4 years, more than anybody else. And they have so much goodwill because of it that I can't see how we can be like, oh, well, Sammy won 3 freaking matches and therefore he's Sammy Hogan. No. He barely got past Braun Breaker. That's the story. And it looks like him and Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker are probably going to have a triple threat, which means Sami Zayn can lose.
And
which means Sami Zayn can move on to something else. I mean, all I'm saying is there's options here. It's not like, I don't know, this whole thing is just weird.
Think about how full, and the cool thing about having so many potential main eventers is that the mid card has flourished because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
the U.S. title means more. The Intercontinental title means more.
I disagree about the U.S. title, but the Intercontinental division, Sammy's the champion. Okay, you've got Ilya, Braun Breaker, Sheamus was in that mix before he got hurt. Ludwig Kaiser was in that mix. Bronson Reed's a reliable hand. Pete Dunne's going on a singles run right now. He'll probably end up in that mix. I just named 7 guys. Go to 2012 and name 7 guys that you think could be Intercontinental Champion. You couldn't name 7 guys on the roster that weren't main eventers.
See, this is the problem, right? And this was the problem. This is why Triple H deserves so much credit. Because they have just built guys, right? And again, it's like if any of these people take a championship, it doesn't look. It's a parallel move. It's not a drop it way down here. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not like Sheamus winning the WWE championship from John Cena when he did
in 2009,
and we were all like, "What just happened?" This dude shows up randomly looking like a redheaded pale freak, and he just wins this thing, and that's it. Like what? But the problem there was John Cena was so far up here, no one was next to him.
The only believable people in Cena's even close to his orbit were DX and The Undertaker.
That's exactly it. And they can't constantly feud. So what are they going to do?
No. It's the same thing when they put the title on The Miz in 2011. Nobody believed that.
Nope. It's sad because he so deserved it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he deserved his second run even more, but they gave him that just because they didn't want Lashley to pin McIntyre just for Lashley to then pin McIntyre.
Either way, I don't care. Still well deserved. Yeah. You know, seriously. I mean, if the Miz doesn't earn people's respect, I don't know what else he can do.
Don't eat chicken over somebody's bag. That'll keep.
No kidding. All right, so over this
Let's
Money
talk
in the
about
Bank
the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that I keep saying we're gonna get to. All right, so
ADHD at work, dude.
Yeah, no kidding, bro. This is my whole spiel.
All right, so the men's Money in the Bank match.
Men's Money in the Bank. McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. He promised before to cash in that world title and leave World Heavyweight Champion.
In hindsight, that should have told us everything we needed to know that he was going to win.
Here's the thing. So we weren't together watching this, right? And I was with my brother, my dad, and my wife. And I told them the order of this card will tell us everything about the card. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, look, I think if the men's Money in the Bank, one of these Money in the Bank matches is going to be first. If the men's is first, that immediately tells me that Drew is going to win this match and go on and try to cash in, and that the Priest and Rollins match would probably be the main event.
It should.
We didn't have the match card, but I'm like, if that match is first, McIntyre wins. The thing is, I still pick Jey Uso because I'm like, please. I get into the mode sometimes where I'm like, I'd really want this person to be it, and that's what I pick. And it's not smart, but sometimes I do it. So that's where I was. I was like,
I picked Chad Gable. I'm there with you.
I get you. I see. We're there. We're in the same boat. But your guy could probably German suplex a boat. So the point, it probably would. Mine will just sit there looking cool, and hitting on emo chicks. Oh yeah, so
his arms
yeah, built emo chicks. So yeah, McIntyre wins the Money in the Bank. And we'll get to him what he does later. Sami Zayn defeats Braun Breaker. This is where people started the Sammy Hogan thing, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. That match was so... I remember telling you, I think Sami Zayn will win this match. I chose Sami Zayn in this match. And I said, I know. And I told you, I think he's going to find a way to outsmart him. Braun is just a brute, train rolling forward, and I feel like all Zayn has to do is just derail him for a moment. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. He didn't outsmart him, but he kind of outmaneuvered him, which makes sense because he's the champion. He's the guy. There should be nobody that should be above losing to a champion. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
They're the champion. What do you want?
That was the whole... Did we talk about Ospreay Swerve? I know we don't really talk AEW. But
no, we didn't. But that was kind of that idea too.
That was the reason why, because Ospreay pushed for that match with Swerve.
Yep.
Which, quick side note, I know we don't talk about AEW.
But he also pushed to lose, which I respect a lot. Because everyone was like, Ospreay's going to win. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
We don't talk AEW. We are very clearly a WWE podcast. I need to go watch that Ospreay MJF match.
Yes, same.
From what I've seen, the clips I've seen, and all that, because I track them on Twitter too.
Yep.
It could be a match of the year candidate from what I've seen.
I think so. From what I've seen, I'm like, dude, y'all killed it. But here's the thing. AEW, fantastic wrestling. Storylines mean nothing. Yeah. And for me, that's why I watch WWE, because the wrestling is good to great most times, but also the stories are what get me. You know what I mean? I love it.
AEW is an indie promotion on a billionaire's salary.
Yes, it's a well-funded passion project.
Yeah. But hey, some people like that, and I respect it. I'm never going to be that person who's like AEW's trash. No, if that's what you like, that's what you like. I like a lot of the wrestlers in AEW. You know,
Sure, I do too. I'm gonna say
I
something a
liked it
little.
when they were in WWE, but
I'm gonna say something just a little controversial though. Okay, just a little, because why not? I would have so much respect for that company if they would release a shirt. Oh, what's that girl's name? The trans girl. What's her name?
Nyla
Not
Rose.
Nyla Rose. I would I would have so much respect for that company if they released a shirt for Nyla Rose that said "I'm your daddy." Oh, you know, or like that said "I'm more man than you" or something, or more of a man than you, or something like that. I would have so much respect for that company. Nyla Rose got so much crap, and it's a whole tree I don't even want to bark up, but I just feel like it would
Anyway,
be.
Money in the Bank.
So anyway, Money in the Bank. Sami Zayn defeats Braun Breaker. Then Damian Priest defeats Rollins and McIntyre. Can we talk about the kick out?
So I saw like Triple H addressed it, and he was like, "Yeah, things
Mm-hmm.
happen."
Yep.
Now it's a bad look for Priest after Clash
Mm-hmm.
because this is 2 pay-per-views in a row where he's made a mistake or messed up or whatever.
Wait, hold on. What was his mistake at Clash?
Bro mistimed his jump off the ropes and got stuck.
Was it a mistake?
Yes,
Sure.
yes, that was not part of the match.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
my thing with the Money in the Bank, because I went back and watched this before the Falcon Arrow. Rollins kneed Priest in the head.
Mm-hmm.
I think that knee to the head might have knocked Priest loopy for a few, and that's why he didn't kick out.
So it could be. If that
There's
was the
been
case,
nothing to confirm that. That's just my theory.
yeah. If that was the case, I think we would definitely know about that, and he would be off TV.
Well, I'm not saying like it concussed him or whatever. It just knocked him loopy for a few, and that's
Yeah. So the
he came
WWE,
back too and finished the match.
WWE does not take they don't take any of that lightly anymore. They
No,
haven't since tragedies happened. So if that is the case, this is kind of where I'm like kind of indifferent on it, right? Because if that was the case, then there's something questionable going on, right? But I don't think that's the case necessarily. What I think happened is that when he comes down, he hits. I think he just didn't hear the ref. Sometimes I get confused when the ref drops, and he comes to the mat just for his
yeah,
to get in position. And sometimes in my head I go, that was one. And then he goes, 1, 2. And I'm like, oh, and then they start counting again. I'm like, oh, wait.
yeah,
Sometimes for me, I get confused. And I've watched wrestling forever.
yeah.
So I wonder if it
One
was just a
thing they
moment where
did,
he hit and then the ref came down. And then he
yeah,
was just like, misheard it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you also got to imagine, it's loud in there.
Oh yeah,
So I think what probably happened is he just didn't hear it or, whatever. And it sucks. It sucks because it happens, right? I think
yeah,
Rollins covered well for it on Raw, where he told Priest, "Look, I get like the refs make mistakes. They're people. I get that these things happen. I get this." And he said, you're more lucky than you are good, but you were still pretty good, right?"
yeah.
And I think that
I
kind of like buttoned it up quite nicely, but it does suck that it happened.
yeah, and so they made it clear it wasn't a production error. That
Yep.
McIntyre's music didn't hit late. If
Right.
we're going to talk about that segment, which at this point we're not, whatever. I'm very frustrated with that portion of Raw because Raw started with Rollins and Punk, and Rollins was so irritated with Punk because you cost me the world title, and now I can't go get another shot. The whole stipulation of the match,
Yep.
just
And
for
that's the
later in
thing.
the show for them to be like, you can have another shot when I'm done with Gunther. Then what was the point of A, the stipulation to begin with, and B, the promo with Punk? Because now he
I
has
have
no
I,
reason to be mad at Punk.
I have the answer.
If you say kayfabe.
No. No.
Okay.
The reason that was the thing, because in this match with Gunther, who between Priest and Gunther, who is the babyface?
Now it's Priest. They've been slow burning a
Exactly,
Priest
exactly,
babyface turn.
exactly. But why? Is it just because of the one thing he did? No, it's because for weeks he's been kind of not being a I want to say another word, not being a jerk to other people, and he's been kind of like poking fun at Dominic, who the crowd hates or loves to hate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been like kind
Wepa.
of, but he's kind of been this person who has not really shown heel tendencies. You know what I
And
mean?
it's been since he won the title.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Finn's line
He's
of
been
since the won the title, you've
yeah,
changed. It's like,
right.
well, yeah,
He's
he's
been
trying to be
trying.
honorable now.
He's trying to be an honorable champion, right? So all these little things that he keeps doing are making people soften to him. And then that
Mm-hmm.
promo from Gunther on Raw, which is one of the things we're going to talk about, really, really helped push Priest to be the face in this match, which would be a great time for the Judgment Day to turn on him. But we'll get there later. So Priest beats Rollins and McIntyre. Because of that, no one got a point. No one got a point.
Yeah.
I thought the match was okay, other than the flub right there. I did like, CM Punk coming out to
A
help.
lot of people hated that.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
Well, they were like, it's a waste of the money in the bank, and
No, it wasn't. No, it
it's
wasn't.
like I disagree on all of that. Like, I
I
liked it.
I disagree because we have so many guys that are flirting with the main event. None of them need it. None of them.
Uh I think the person who, and I think I might have said this when we did our
All
predictions.
right, tell
The
me who in
person
the
who
men's money, who in the men's Money in the Bank needed that thing.
I don't think I'll say he necessarily needed it. I think it would have benefited Gable heavily, especially character wise, if Gunther wins the title at SummerSlam.
If you were gonna give it to
Because
somebody in the men's Money in the Bank, I would give it to Andrade, who needed
eh,
it, could use it, could actually use it. Carmelo Hayes, I like him. He's not there. He's not there. He's
not
not even
yet.
flirting close to it. Jey Uso is there. Chad Gable's there. LA Knight's there. Drew McIntyre's there. The person that could have used it, Andrade.
Yeah.
And it's not a waste because Andrade will get there. It's not even a question. You know what I mean?
Well, he's got the Speed Championship. He's fine.
Yeah, okay. The Speed Championship, because that means something. They've never even shown it on TV.
It was his match graphic picture. He was holding the Speed title.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good for him. Oh, so stupid.
They make so much money off of that.
Yes, they do. 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Anyway,
Some guys would kill to be there for 3 minutes.
Anyway, we're just gonna. I am not gonna.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
That
I'm sorry, I
at
couldn't
all.
help it. I couldn't help it.
I'm gonna.
Anyway, so the women's Money in the Bank match was a car wreck. Oh my god.
Yes, yes, it was. I hit the wrong button. Yeah, no. So after the whole debacle with CM Punk coming out to screw McIntyre again and Rollins and Priest, we get Tiffany Stratton wins the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Match of the night.
I think you're right. I did choose, however, Chelsea Green to win this match because I think it would have been hilarious. Again, not the smart move, but like, man, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
That would have been so funny. And
Tiffany's
I thought she had it. I thought she had it, and then all of a sudden she's just like, Tiffany pushed her over and goes, "Toodles!" through the. By the way, what a fall through them tables.
I guess she had done it before in TNA.
Yeah, she didn't look uncomfortable with it, and I'm glad she was able to be safe.
I'd be terrified.
Oh my gosh! Right? But Tiffany Stratton is your Miss Money in the Bank.
This has
No
been
one.
she's been the pick for this since Elimination Chamber.
Oh
She's been
yes.
Miss Money in the
Oh
Bank
yes.
since
And
February.
I have something I think they should do with her, but I will tell you that in a moment because I think it'll be great. Especially after SmackDown last night, this I think my thing could be hilarious. But we'll see. So Tiffany Stratton wins the Money in the Bank. Definitely, easily the best match of the night because the women worked overtime. They were crazy. Just did all the stuff that made me go, oh,
Zoe Stark.
good lord.
Oh
I
my
I think
god.
someone needs to check on Io, bro. I think she broke her tailbone. Yeah, and then she just kind of arched like, oh. It reminded me of that moment when Nia had a couple years ago. She's like, oh, my hole. That's kind of how I felt. I was like, oh, no.
Io turned into Sailor Moon for a couple minutes.
Yeah, she did. She did. And then the main event was the Bloodline defeated Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton by pinning Cody Rhodes.
So that right there, that last sentence, is the only excusable reason for that match to be the main event.
That Cody Rhodes took an L?
That Cody Rhodes was pinned for only the 4th time since joining the company.
Yep.
Other than that, this should have been. I would have, if Cody hadn't been the one to take the pin, I would have swapped this and the Damian Seth match.
I agree with you.
But that being said, Jacob Fatu, oh my god.
Can I sidetrack you just for a second? Okay. Tama Tonga, killing it, right. Tama Tonga, killing it. Jacob Fatu, killing it. Solo Sikoa, killing it. What is Tonga Loa doing, bro? This man just messing up everything. He goes to punch Kevin Owens on the crotch, and what does he do? He punches him in the butt. Then he punches his brother in the face, right? And just to jump forward like a week or two, on this past SmackDown, this man, when he gets to the ring, they dispose of him very quickly. And then Jacob Fatu comes out and destroys everybody. And then all of a sudden, Tonga Loa shows back up again. And I was like, you know what? That was intentional. Mm-hmm. He's kind of the weak link.
There was, I know I use this excuse for Priest and Rollins, but I'm going to say it again here. There was a report that came out that he hit his head rather hard on the announce table, and that could have been the issue. But that gets sidetracked when you realize he botched his own debut.
This is what I'm saying.
Like,
the ref had to play theatrics. 1, 2, this man didn't touch me yet, but
yeah.
Good lord, that was loud. Anyway, yeah, no, it was no. Look, so the Bloodline defeated, and also the fact that they told you Triple H had to pull strings to get Jacob Fatu in this country,
which is true.
Which is true, but tells me that they really did not want Tonga Loa in that match. They were like, nah, bro. You're going to screw this up.
They played it up to his character, and that's the great thing. Like, in reality, he spent time in jail, so Canada does not want to let him through. In WWE, he's so dangerous that even like the Canadian government didn't want him at this show.
Also, that's just brilliant.
Yeah.
That's well done. Way to like take the truth and kind of polish it a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Dude,
overall, I thought people told me, I heard people say that Money in the Bank was kind of a letdown, and I understand where they're coming from because every pay-per-view this year has just been, out of the park, every single one.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why this seems like a letdown, but to me, I'm like, it was still a great show. If you gave me this in 2019, you gave me this in 2019, I'd be like, that was the best show of the year. You know what I mean?
It was a good show.
Our bar has risen so much that we're like, everything needs to be like great.
It was a good show. I will say if there's a show that I wasn't going to be able to see live, I was okay with it being this one. I think the only other show that I would have been okay not seeing live, like on this level, would have been Elimination Chamber. Every other show, if I had to choose between that show and this one, I'd probably choose the other shows.
Sure. I get it.
but that
But
doesn't
it
mean that this
wasn't.
show was bad.
No, it
I
wasn't
think
a
that
bad show by at all.
there is a stigma with Money in the Bank. It's part of the Big Five, quote unquote Big
Mm-hmm.
Five. So
Sure.
everybody expects Show of the Year, and that you know whose fault that is? That is 2011's fault. Because
And
Money
why
in the
is
Bank
that?
2011 is one of if not the best show the WWE has ever put on. That's not WrestleMania.
I would challenge that. I would challenge
It's
that.
one of if not the
Can
best.
Can I tell you one of the best shows I've ever seen? And it was
Hmm.
almost in spite of itself.
WrestleMania 31.
No, no. The Great Balls of Fire pay per view.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Okay,
Is it so?
so
Was that Joe versus Lesnar?
it was. It
Okay.
is a stupid name for a pay per view. I agree. But my God, the talent was like, you know what? It is a stupid name, but watch this.
Yeah.
Fantastic show.
Oh,
But
we didn't talk about the most newsworthy thing coming out of Money in the Bank.
what was that?
John Cena's retirement.
Ooh, yeah.
Now listen. When I was younger, okay, John Cena was my guy, which is around the same time you were a Cena sucks guy.
Can I interject for a second?
After I finish the story. I remember specifically we were watching a show together, and I was like, Cena's gonna. I think it might have been my first WrestleMania, or it was a later show or something like that. It was a big show because we were at your dad and Jackie's house and all that. And you looked at
WrestleMania 24?
6.
26? Okay, yep, okay.
It might not have been that show. It might have been like a different one, but it was one where I was like super behind Cena. And you looked little Ian in the face and asked me what John Cena ate for breakfast because my face was so far up his butt.
Did I really do that?
You said, Ian, can you tell me what he had for breakfast since you're brown nosing so hard? And
I don't
I
remember.
was so confused because I
That
didn't
doesn't
know what
sound
that
like
meant.
something I would say. Oh, I don't remember that at all. I think
And
you might be
at that
confusing me with someone else, but
nope,
you
it
know.
was 100% you. And it was at that moment I realized Tim's kind of a tool.
You can take the words "kinda" out of there. You know.
But no, for Cena was like my guy. My first show I went to was Over the Limit 2010. I've talked about it before, where he was like 3 people away from me fighting Batista. Like,
yeah.
I didn't realize how bad of a decision it was until I got older and understood wrestling a little bit more. But he beat the Nexus, and I was like, yeah, let's go. He beat the bad guys. Like that era of Cena where, and I think this is a lot more common with people nowadays. That era of Super Cena was a lot of younger, I don't want to say that we're content creators or anything like that, but a lot of people that we see on the internet, that was our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So we've carried this whole Cena's our guy thing up until our older ages, where I'm going to say get people like you, because this was your mindset. You're like, this guy can't wrestle.
No, not see. That's where you might be wrong. So I fit in this weird situation, right? Where I like to think I'm a logical person, and I would look at it when John Cena started. I was like, this man has no character, no charisma. He's kind of a bland guy, but okay, cool, whatever.
You're talking prototype?
Yeah. But you want to introduce John Cena? That's fine. But when he became a rapper, I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. All right, cool. I'm with this. Let's do this. This is gonna be fun. And he comes out and he starts rapping. It's a big show and stuff. He called him the Macy's Day Parade float at WrestleMania 20, and I was like, that's pretty funny. And he wins the U.S. title, and I'm like, hey man, you know what? Cool, sweet, cool. He found a character, right? And then he somehow morphed from that into this character that was Superman. And that's about where he lost me. Because WWE at that time pushed John Cena so hard, right? And I get it because the crowd hated it. right? The crowd made noise. It's all that matters. All John Cena would say is the crowd making noise matters.
Hated it. The adults hated it.
Sure.
There's a difference.
And they
That's
did
a very
it
important
for,
distinction.
right? But listen, are children buying tickets? No. That was the thing I never understood. Children, 6-year-olds are not buying tickets to WrestleMania. 6-year-olds are not buying tickets to Backlash, Judgment Day, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, anything. If the parents feel like they're going to Disney on Ice and they don't care, you don't have them. They're not hooked. They don't care. They're here for their kids. Yeah, their kids having fun. Great, cool, fun.
Yeah.
This is why WWE was not doing well in that time. Sure, they're making profit, crazy profits, right? But like crowds down. Not good. Not good at all. Only merchandise seller, John Cena. Why? Because you held everybody else down. Everybody else that could have been like we have now is a great time, right? And this is why I don't and this goes back to again to like the whole Sami Zayn thing with like who's Sammy Hogan. No. Sami Zayn is flirting with the top. At that point, it was John Cena up here. Everybody else was 3 floors below him.
Mm-hmm.
And no one could get close because they would not let it happen. Daniel Bryan might be the only one. And it was because they couldn't.
And
they didn't know how to make it stop.
Kicking and scratching to pull himself there.
Because they could not make it stop. That was it. It was literally John Cena and then eventually Daniel Bryan. That was it. CM Punk got the title. Was he ever looked at as a champion? No. Rey Mysterio won the WWE Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship. Was he ever looked at as the guy? No, never. There are so many guys.
The WWE title
and
the same night.
This was the frustration with John Cena. It wasn't John Cena, the person, the wrestler, who I thought was fine. It was the fact that every single night he was told, you win, you win, you win, you win, you win. I know the crowd hates it. You win, you win. Yeah, the crowd hates it, but you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to win. That was the problem.
Yeah. But again, it comes back to, for people my age and the young adult wrestling fans, we were those 6-year-olds in the crowds super excited because our hero won again.
And your parents were annoyed they were going to Disney on Ice.
Yeah, that's fair. But that brings me to this point. I don't think... So this was the first thing that got spoiled from me on the show, okay?
Okay.
This got spoiled for me, like, in the middle of the day. And I just stopped walking. I was in the middle of Disney World, and I just stopped walking.
What happened?
I was like, I opened my phone, and the first thing that ESPN says on Instagram, John Cena announces retirement.
Yep.
And I felt my heart drop. Because I was like, no, that's my hero. That's my childhood hero. That's my guy. But at the same time, bro hasn't won a singles match since, like, the pandemic. If not before then. Like...
That doesn't matter. He's John Cena.
Yeah. So, a couple days go by.
I'll tell you what bothered me. Corey posted this thing on Facebook, and
I was just about to bring it up. Because I want to see it.
I'm against. I
don't want to see it. I don't want to see it like early 2000s.
Fill people in on what it is you want to see.
So, Corey we've brought up Corey before. He shared this thing on Facebook where it was like Triple H. It's like a letter to the Triple H. It was like, we don't want to see Cena putting everybody over. We don't want to see him losing everything. We want to see the Cena from our childhood. Super Cena wins everything and all that. And
it also said he wanted to see him win the 17th time world champion.
Yeah, he should. He 100% should.
No, he shouldn't.
Yes, he should. What are you talking about? No, he shouldn't. They don't want Ric Flair as part of the company. They don't want an image of him. So get rid of him. Let
me ask you something. Who is the last person who won a world title on their last match?
I don't know.
Barring CM Punk in the summer of Punk, because that was, a thing. But
He was
barring
back
that,
2 weeks later.
right? Barring that, do you know who it was?
Who?
Trish Stratus. She retired champion.
Her
You know
last
why
match was last year,
Sure.
dog.
When she retired, like for the first time, which lasted for what, like 8 years or so, 9 years, which is a
She
long
came
time
back
in
in
wrestling.
2011.
Okay. Besides the look,
Or no,
she,
09. It was 09. Anyway.
she retired. She retired champion against Lita. She retired. She's done. Right. Comebacks, yeah, that's gonna happen. But the fact is, when she was leaving and she was done, she was calling it quits. She was calling it a whole thing. She retired champion. Point is, that doesn't happen often.
No, I'm not
And
saying he
and
needs to retire champion.
okay, so who? Tell me who he should beat for the world title right now.
Is it time for Ian's fantasy booking scenario? Because I feel like I do one of these an episode.
Listen, well, before you go off on a tangent, let me just tell you this. I think John Cena deserves the retirement he wants. And I think John Cena is a selfless performer whose goal is to make sure everybody else is fine. And I feel like John Cena could win the U.S. title or something. Or just, no, better yet, even just do this. Just do a John Cena open challenge. Every single show. Or, every pay-per-view. Everything, right? John Cena open challenge. Let's go. Pull random people that aren't doing it. Andrade, beat John Cena. I don't think it benefits John Cena or the roster to have John Cena mow through your roster for a year just for him to never show back up.
I agree about the mowing through the roster.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't. You wanted to be champion.
That doesn't mean he's gonna mow through the roster.
So he's just gonna beat one guy?
Let me cook. Royal Rumble 2025.
Here we go.
I am fully aware that I'm going to finish this and you're going to tell me that it's horrible, okay? I can see it in the eyes. Doesn't matter what I say.
As long as you're aware, it's fine.
Royal Rumble 2025. Cody Rhodes versus a heel Randy Orton. Randy Orton beats Cody Rhodes for the title. Later in the night, Cena wins his third Rumble, tying Austin.
Time out. Let me ask you something. What's more important, right? The Royal Rumble to a newer talent, to someone that could use it, or the Money in the Bank?
Probably the Rumble.
Then why are you wasting it on John Cena?
Let me cook!
Your cooking smells awful.
WrestleMania, night, whatever, main event, or, whatever. One last time, Orton versus Cena for the title.
Oh my God.
Which has never happened one-on-one at WrestleMania.
That's because it happened every other freaking night ever for like 4 years.
Anyway. Cena wins the title off Orton.
I'm going to keep doing this, by the way.
Holds it until Money in the Bank.
Wait, so who does Orton win the title from?
Cody at the Rumble. Heel. Did you miss that part? Heel Orton wins the title off Cody at the Rumble.
So Cody don't get a rematch?
Elimination Chamber or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you get your rematch with 5 other guys.
Money in the Bank. Cena loses the title to say, I don't know, put Cody over, give Cody a second title reign by Money in the Bank. SummerSlam. He fights Punk for that last match that Punk requested. Pay-per-view after SummerSlam. He finally gets his IC title. And we end Cena's last couple months doing the Intercontinental Open Challenge. Last night in the company, last pay-per-view, he loses the IC title in the final Intercontinental Open Challenge to a young star that can be put over by beating Cena.
So your
Oh,
plan.
better yet. I apologize. He loses the Intercontinental title to Chad Gable by tapping out.
Hold on 1 second.
I'm going to get my feelings hurt with whatever he's about to do. I don't know where he's gone, but I don't think it's a bad booking. Now, granted, I'm fully aware that it is a unrealistic booking because we have so many big stars in the company right now. But if you're going to send Cena off, send him off by solidifying him as the greatest WWE superstar of all time. Put it in the record books as the most world titles. Give him that IC title that he never got. And let him play the hits. Yeah, John Cena versus Randy Orton was nobody's favorite match at that time period. But it's the most solidified rivalry of that time period. Sorry,
Okay.
I was just talking when you disappeared. I was assuming that when you came back, I was going to get my feelings hurt.
Listen, I just want to tell you, this is not a bad scenario, but I can fix it. Okay? Ready? First off, if your scenario ends with Chad Gable beating John Cena by having him tap out, that is the incorrect answer.
Why?
Chad Gable needs to beat John Cena, and John Cena needs to pass out.
The guy whose
Cena?
career has been I don't tap out ends by him finally saying this guy has done it. He's put me to bed. I quit. I tap out.
It seems cheap.
Why?
Because you everything he said now means nothing.
It doesn't mean that he's older now. It hurts more now. He's old.
Hey, let me. You spoke for like forever. Let me just tell you. John Cena needs to pass out. Why? What you're describing is the beginning of a heel turn. You tell people not to give up, and then I give up.
It's not a heel turn.
That is the beginning of someone turning heel. That is not how you keep someone a babyface all the way through. No. He would pass out. Furthermore, I like John Cena putting over talent for the Intercontinental title. I like that. I like him challenging people, open challenge. I think we both agree there's a John Cena open challenge that needs to be happening.
Well, that was his best run of matches, was that U.S. Open Challenge. That right there was what brought people back to liking Cena.
Why was it the best?
Because he was having good matches on a week-to-week basis with young talent.
Uh-huh. Which talent?
Is the back half of my booking.
Why is it the back half? Because you feel like we got to build up John Cena?
No, because I want that world title win at WrestleMania.
He doesn't need it.
But of course he doesn't need it. But this is what I was saying while you were gone. What better way to solidify him as the greatest WWE superstar in everything that encompasses?
He already is.
Solidify him by saying he has the most world title reigns.
He already is. Why do we need to do that?
Because there's always going to be that debate.
Okay. So we were talking earlier about everybody flirting with that top spot.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me name off like 6 people, and you tell me which one John Cena deserves to step over. Okay. This is what you're talking about. This is essentially what you're talking about.
It's a 6-month run from Mania, not even 6 months, from Mania to Money in the Bank.
All right.
It's not like he's holding the title for a year.
All right. So listen. For 6 months, LA Knight, I'm sorry, you're down here. Drew McIntyre, you're down here. Chad Gable, you're down here. Jey Uso, you're down here because John Cena's back. Hey, Cody Rhodes, you're down here because John Cena's back. Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, you're all kind of down here because John Cena's back. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton.
Here's the thing.
Well, Randy Orton can flirt with them because, they have history, but everyone else kind of underneath them. How does that feel?
That you are making it sound like it is. First of all, it's not like that we are solidified. Cody Rhodes is not John Cena right now. We have all these guys. So for
Cody
the
Rhodes is John Cena right now. I don't know if you know. He is. He's totally John Cena right now.
Cody Rhodes opened Backlash.
Yeah.
Or not Backlash, Clash. I meant Clash.
John Cena opened
John
a
Cena-
pay-per-view as well.
Not as world champion.
He did too. He had a world title match as the first match because they were going to head with I think the NFL playoffs. They called it the main event, but it started the show. Once I figure out what card it is, I'll let you know. But I didn't know it totally happened.
I don't think it is a problem that for a short span of time, from Mania to Money in the Bank, it's like 3-4 months. Let Cena have his world title, and then he puts Cody Rhodes over at Money in the Bank.
So who does he beat for the? He beats Randy Orton for the title. Randy Orton beat Cody.
Yes, at the Rumble.
What does Cody do in the meantime?
I don't know.
So it's about Cena, not. It's about your past talent, not your current talent.
I'm not booking the whole company. I'm booking Cena's run, dog.
This is what I'm saying. This is the problem I have with it. This is the problem I had with John Cena as the main guy forever. He was up here and no one was close.
But if I had said, here's the thing. If I had said any name that wasn't John Cena, it's not bad booking.
It is too. If it's anybody else that's about to retire and we know it for sure, it is bad booking. Absolutely.
I think this is one that we're just going to disagree on because I don't think 4 months between Mania to Money in the Bank as champion is detrimental to the company. Considering that we just had a champion that wasn't around.
I don't think it's detrimental to the company.
Or to the stars.
No, I don't think that either. I think it's detrimental to your fan base.
See, with how everybody, from the reaction I've seen to Cena retiring, I don't think fans are going to mind.
Let me ask you something. Who is the number one merchandise seller right now in WWE?
Probably Cody, right?
He's flirting. It's him and Jey Uso flirting back and forth. And then LA Knight. That said, John Cena still has merch on WWEshop.com. He's about to retire.
He'll still have merch.
They still have merch, but he's still not number one.
Yeah, well...
Why?
Because he's not around.
Okay. So tell me this. How do you sell merch as a talent?
You're around, you do shows, you do live shows.
Okay. All right. So tell me this. Who do you believe sells more merch? Drew McIntyre or Braun Breaker?
Do either of them have merch?
Drew McIntyre does.
Well, then
So
Drew
does Braun Breaker.
Huh. I'm going to say Drew would be my guess.
Why?
Top guy.
Because he's perceived to be a top guy. So if you move your top guys down for John Cena, right? You said for at least 6 months he's going to be the guy.
So we'll say from the Rumble to Money in the Bank, so about 6 months.
Okay. So everybody else not going to do as much. Not going to be as relevant. Can we agree on that?
With the way that the shows are depicted right now, I can't.
I think John Cena having his farewell year is going to be fun. It's going to be great. But it doesn't need a world title at all.
It's not like I'm saying he beats Gunther for the world title.
No, you're saying he beats Cody. He beats Cody.
Randy beats Cody.
Okay.
He beats Randy, then Cena puts Cody over at Money in the Bank. So Cody beats Cena for the title.
So Randy beats Cody, right? And then
Cena beats
John
Randy.
Cena beats Randy.
And then at Money in the Bank, Cody beats Cena.
I don't like it.
It's good booking.
It's not. It's really not. I honestly hope he comes back, wins the IC title or something, and then, at the end of the year gets destroyed by Braun Breaker or something. I don't know. I I've had my fill of John Cena being a world champion,
And that's
and
see
and at the age
that
he's
is why you're so against it.
no at the age no because there are so many guys. Why did Dolph Ziggler never get like the accolades he clearly could have taken and could have done? Why?
Because Vince McMahon was
Because
an idiot,
no, well, yeah, but why? Because he had John Cena,
and then
right? And that's
they
not
gave
John
Ziggler the
Cena's fault.
title, and he got
That's not
hurt.
John. It's not John Cena's fault, right? It's not. It's really not. But I think at this point, to specifically place him at the top of your card over all of your talent that you have been building and have actually performed and like exceeded expectation is just disrespectful to those talent. I would feel the same way about like the when The Rock came back like a couple years ago to show up to fight at WrestleMania, and I was like, "Why are you here, dude? Why? What are you doing? You got to fight John Cena? Okay, why? Because they didn't think they had anybody else on that level with John Cena. Just The Rock. Go get your charger, dog. You can say it. It's fine. Is it your laptop charger or your phone charger?
I didn't want to cut your flow off. Yeah,
No, you're
I was
fine.
literally typing keep venting. I'm gonna go get my cord.
Well, it's really easy because it just makes it makes so little sense for John Cena, to me at least, to win another championship when all of this talent has been pushing so hard and getting so close, and to the point where they haven't just earned that spot, they deserve that spot. I cannot express how much it bothers me that Jey Uso has still just scratched the surface. That I can't understand how we can think that John Cena coming back and just standing atop all that talent is such a good idea. That's just me. But I think we need to move on though because we're gonna get sidetracked here.
Yeah, and we've been talking for an hour and a half already.
It's about an hour, yeah, about an hour, yeah, something like that. So all right, let's move on from John Cena. We're clearly not gonna agree, but I think we're both. I think what we can agree on is we're both very excited to see how the John Cena story plays out and where we
Yes.
go from here. I think everybody respects John Cena. I think the thing is, some of us just don't want to feel like we're going to Disney on Ice anymore. All right, let's talk about the Wyatt Six.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the interviews with Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas have
So
been wild.
what was the
interview
last
with
one we
Rowan,
talked about that I was here for?
Well,
Was it just the first one?
I think it was the second one as well. We didn't get to the Eric Rowan one. I wonder if they're going to do all of them. But I was so interested last week when I think it was last week when we saw Adam Pearce's door open and it was Bo Dallas.
Just sitting there.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And then this past week on Raw, Chad Gable called out Bo Dallas. They jumped Bo Dallas, and that was a mistake. But I like that they're getting better at like carrying. Can you please stop moving that, my lord?
I'm
They're
sorry.
getting better. I just keep hearing everything going.
I
They're
tried to
getting
turn it
better.
off.
Yeah, they're getting better at carrying storylines through without having to have people like kill each other. You know what I mean? You look at the CM Punk McIntyre thing; they haven't had a match in 6 months. We look at Liv and Rhea, and they haven't had a match at all. And like they've gotten really good at like focusing on story and having that stretch out and that be the thing that fills the spot instead of having to be match, 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 and that's how your story is told. But so I think the Wyatt Six thing with the feud with Gable, I think it's building nicely, and I'm very intrigued to see if we pull the trigger on that at SummerSlam or if we wait a little bit. Personally, I would do it at SummerSlam because I just want to see it.
SummerSlam, I think, is the right spot. Not just because if we wait too long, it might lose steam. I don't think it will, but it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where Bray Wyatt debuted, was SummerSlam. Not only that, that's where The Fiend debuted, was
Ooh,
SummerSlam.
oh, SummerSlam's coming up here.
It's August 3rd.
Third, yeah.
Oh, I got a wedding that day.
Guess who doesn't? This guy.
Dang it.
Let's see. That is in 2 weeks from today.
What time is that wedding? Can I be ready? Does it? Oh, 4:30 in the afternoon.
You're watching the pay-per-view starts at 6:30. Well, that's probably the pre-show. So
Which means the show itself probably starts at 8.
probably 7:30 or 7. But that's looking like it's gonna be a good thing too. But yeah, I think the Wyatt 6 build has been, a lot of people have been like, I don't know, but I think it's been pretty good.
I like it so far. That Rowan promo, good God. Like,
I did not, when I saw him talking, I was like, oh no, not you. Of all the people in the Wyatt family initially, I was like, oh, not you, dog. Please no. But he did really well. Yeah.
The line that hit me the most in his whole promo was, "Who's gonna miss me? I'm just Rowan."
Yep.
And if you look at the history of the Wyatt family, like, that's how he was perceived.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt, the matriarch, or patriarch, wrong one. Anyway.
Patriarch is a man.
Patriarch. My bad.
How dare you? He's not Sister Abigail, dog. That match never happened. That's not canon.
I was gonna say,
it never happened. It's not canon.
He was the guy. And then he became the Fiend. Luke Harper was the Intercontinental Champion, and then he went on to become Brody Lee in AEW. And say what you want about AEW, Brody Lee character was great.
The Vince McMahon-like character.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have Rowan, who was the tag team partner. He was the other Bludgeon Brother. He was Daniel Bryan's head.
Well, even if
he was the guy who lost to The Rock in 8 seconds at WrestleMania. Like,
you're also overlooking Braun Strowman too.
Well, he was the black sheep. He was the black sheep of the family. So
yeah,
and most people just, when they say the Wyatt family, they just refer to the original 3.
Sure. Well, I was adding to your point that even Braun Strowman had broken out and done other things, and
yeah,
still Eric Rowan. No, I thought it was great. I have so much hope for this group, and I think they were so smart to like immediately take the fangs out of the, you're just undercutting your brother or ruining his legacy. Like, to immediately go, nah, we're gonna usurp that. Like, that was brilliant.
That image of on Raw where they like sent Gable and the Creeds packing, and they're just all in the ring, and I almost called him Bray. Bo sitting there with his arms stretched out. He looked like Bray in that moment.
He kind of does look like Bray, just thinner, taller.
Like,
not as wide though. Like, Bray was kind of beefy up top,
Bray was a tank.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, I'm very excited for how this ends. I need a match at SummerSlam. I need something confirmed, and it's gonna be great.
I think it'll be a 6-man. I don't think Uncle Howdy will be in it. I think it'll be Rowan, Loomis, and Gacy versus Chad the Creeds.
You could even do Chad the Creeds and Ivy Nile. You could. I'm just saying.
They could. They don't do intergender matches like that.
This might be a Survivor Series match down the War Games match down the road. How
many War Games matches are you wanting at that show?
I don't know what it's going to be or what it could be. I'm just saying there's enough people in it to that it could be.
I would be heavily surprised if the War Games match isn't Bloodline Civil War Part 2.
Oh, I think it is. I think it is too. But I'm just saying,
Jimmy just got cleared to return.
My point is, there's enough people in this mix that something like that could be done. That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be, but I'm saying it could be. There's enough bodies. And then there's my favorite ongoing story, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. The
This is the
story.
horniest story. Dog.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But also, like, it's been so funny.
It's been
Watching
hilarious.
watching Dominic Mysterio just be so uncomfortable. It's been so funny.
Dude,
Damian Priest just kind of rubbing it in his face the whole way, and oh, it's been great. I've been loving it.
I saw a post that was like Damian Priest is the older brother Dominic never had.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Liv Morgan finally has a character that she's like sunk her teeth into. But God, she pushes the envelope, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she
Like,
does.
I'm watching clips, and I'm looking through this promo, and like I don't have headphones in. Like Lauren's sitting in the other
Nope.
room or something.
Bad idea. Bad
I was
idea.
like, oh, it's fine. And then Liv goes, "I'm a screamer," and Lauren goes, "What?"
Yeah. So I'm watching TV, and this all starts happening, and I'm fortunate that my wife understands what is happening on the television because I'm like, hey man, I'm just watching Raw. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it has been so funny. I love Carlito is a national treasure. Protect that man at all costs.
Put him in the Judgment Day officially.
No, that's cool. It's just,
The segment where they're in the clubhouse and he's like, Dominic's like, I want to show him who you belong to, and you just see Finn, JD, and Carlito go, just turn their heads and be like,
Carlito even told him, he goes, that's not cool.
That's not cool, man.
It is so funny. The Judgment Day is killing it.
Yeah, it's gonna suck when Finn Balor jumps Damian Priest after he beats Gunther.
SummerSlam. You think okay. Well, actually, next time we're going to talk about is a SummerSlam card, and then we'll call it a night because it's kind of been a while.
It's been a long show. It's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah, the SummerSlam card. It's only been an hour and 17 we've been recording, but we talked about 25 minutes before.
That's true.
So Cody versus Solo will be probably the main event, I assume. We also have Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title. Liv versus Rhea for the women's heavyweight. Women's world title. Bayley versus Nia for the WWE Women's Championship. Priest versus Gunther for the world heavyweight title. And then we have Punk versus McIntyre. This
Allegedly.
is all kind of presumed. None of these are. Only a couple of these are actually confirmed so far.
I think. No, Solo versus Cody's confirmed.
Yep. And
Liv
Paul
versus
LA
Rhea's. Paul versus LA Knight. The only one of those matches that's not confirmed is the Punk McIntyre match. And I actually have a theory about that match.
There also could be a tag title. Do you want to talk about Gunther's promo real quick? I know you had strong opinions on it.
Whoo! Gunther was teetering that line.
Teetering the line of what?
I don't know. I took that promo as Gunther was being racist.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain this to me real quick. Because
I went back and my first time watching it, I thought it was racist. Also, can you hear those text messages coming in through my Mac?
Nope.
Okay, cool. No, so the first time I listened to the promo, I was like, he's being a little racist. And then I went back and watched it again after you and I had talked. I was like, oh no, it's classist.
Mm-hmm.
So I said he was being racist out the gate, and then I went back and rewatched it with the classist thing in mind. I was like, oh no, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But Gunther is so good. That bro.
Is that what that sentence ends? It was like, is that what that sentence ends? Okay.
He's so good. Like, bro was gone between King of the Ring and Money in the Bank.
He had nothing to prove.
Except for that one promo where Priest and Rollins were going at it, and he comes out and he goes, doesn't matter what happens, I'm going to beat either one of you at SummerSlam, so I'll see you there. And he literally vanished for a couple weeks until post
just dipped
Money
out.
in the Bank.
Yep.
And then he comes back, and this segment is like, God, He's so
So,
good.
so remember earlier I said Priest has been positioning himself as a babyface among the Judgment Day, who are, not. Um, and this is why. Uh, and this moment is exactly why, right? He's been honorable. He's told Seth Rollins, you know what, man, I respect you so much. Don't worry about that. I got you. You deserve it, right? He's been doing all these things that are honorable for this exact moment. I was a little taken aback when I was on Twitter. I watch Raw and like Twitter at the same time, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, "Oh, Gunther being racist," and I was like, "Wait, how?
I
How?"
don't think people realize that racist and classist are two different things.
Okay,
Because
well, that's
classist didn't come to mind until we had talked.
right. So my thing was, this man never mentioned anything about who he is, or what about him, or how he looks, or anything. And I think, and it kind of bothered me because I can totally understand the situation that's happening here, because I've been on the Damian Priest side of this exact kind of situation, where someone's talking down to me because I'm poor, or because I grew up poor, or because I had nothing, or you know what I mean. Like, I've been in
Mm-hmm.
that situation, so when I saw it, I was like, I know exactly what that is.
A
And
lot
that's
of
why when
people don't click
that's
that.
right, and that's when I saw it on Twitter, and people were like, I'm like, wait, hold on, are you guys immediately saying all Puerto Ricans are poor?
Because that's
Because
racist.
that's racist. Exactly. And that was my point. It's like, no, no, no. He's not being racist. He's being classist. You assuming that all Puerto Ricans are poor. That's the racist part. And that's on you for thinking that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For me, I was like, no, I lived in Detroit, 3 miles outside of the downtown area, in like a horrible area for like a couple of years. That's not fun. Believe me, like when I see classism, I know it because I lived it. So I was like, no, he's not being racist at all. It's nothing to do with anything Damian Priest is about. It's just that, hey, you grew up in the streets because you had to. Like, why? Your parents didn't think you deserved better? I was like, whoo. I get it. I totally get this moment. And I think more than anything, that's what bothered me about the segment, was people just misunderstood and didn't get it.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I was one of those people. I was like, oh, he's being racist. And then, like I said, you and I talked. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, classist makes a lot more sense,
It, it makes so much more sense.
which I should have gotten because it was when I was a lot younger, but like my parents were in that situation. My
Yeah.
life started in that situation, so it should have clicked for me. But my
hmm
mind, I saw somebody else say racist before I saw the clip,
Yeah.
and then I saw the clip and was
If
like,
you
oh
well,
dang,
if you immediately saw it and were like, "Oh, this white man is talking to this, person of color or whatever," and he's like talking down to him because he's poor and all these things, then yeah, I can get that. But if you saw the promo, like, what were you watching? You know what I mean?
yeah.
To me, I don't believe in microaggressions or anything, and this is just, I just don't. I don't think like I'm gonna say something that's like you can take the wrong way, and that means I'm racist. I don't believe in that. But I think that anyone who watched that immediately was like, oh, "This is racist," because that guy is Puerto Rican. I think those people need to really like inspect themselves. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because for you to assume that he's being racist because he said a negative thing to a Puerto Rican person about how how much money they had or how they grew up, that might be on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, when Gunther called him street trash, I immediately had Aladdin playing in my head.
I did too. I did too. Me and Shaw were sitting on the couch and I went, "Street rat." Uh, you know,
Scoundrel,
yeah, right.
take that.
Wait. Uh, how does that song go? But it was stuck in my head immediately. It was how does it? Oh man, I can't remember how it goes. Street rat. I don't buy that. If they'd only look closer. I was
I'm
just,
glad I wasn't the only person who
oh
immediately
no.
thought about Aladdin.
I immediately thought of Aladdin. Matter of fact, I almost went and watched Aladdin because
It's my
it's
favorite
great.
Disney movie. Love
It's
that movie.
have you seen the third one?
Is that King of Thieves?
Yes,
Yes.
that was my favorite.
Uh, that was the straight to VHS one, wasn't it?
No, no, no. The second one was. The Return of Jafar was.
Ah.
Dude,
Anyway.
Jesus. VHS. What are we talking about?
Well, that's what
But-
Nick. That's
but
what Heavy
anyway.
the Witch keeps dropping off of Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I know. Right. So, there's that.
Which did you see that she dropped it off at the show? Like
Sorry?
she dropped it off she dropped last week's Rowan tape off at the Pat McAfee show. Like she showed up to the Pat McAfee show to do it.
I did not see that.
Or I don't know if it was her, but like it was like the lights went out and the package was there and all that.
That's kind of cool.
Which I think they would have done earlier had Pat's father-in-law not passed.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? All I know is that it's a creepy thing to see.
Yeah. But early doors predictions, I think Priest beats Gunther.
Wow.
And if you would have asked me a month ago, I wouldn't have said that. But also a month ago, I didn't think Priest would still be champion.
Well, so if Gunther wins, who is his next opponent?
It'll be in Berlin. So that'll be the Ilya match.
I would run Priest Gunther back, depending on how good it is.
I think Judgment Day splits at SummerSlam, and Priest is immediately going to go into a feud with Balor, which is why I think Priest wins. Because I think Balor's going to help Priest win. Priest is going to get mad at Balor for helping him win.
Stop it.
And Balor will finally turn.
Ian, I want you to know that I picked Money in the Bank predictions based on what I wanted to happen and not what I thought.
It's doable.
Ian,
they're building to this split.
Ian, it is doable, but they are going to cost this man this match, and you know it. You know it. You 100% know it. And that is why Priest and Gunther will run back at Berlin, and then they will just beat the crap out of Priest, which will push him into this thing with Judgment Day. It may even cause Rhea Ripley to leave.
Well, Rhea Ripley is the only person that's internally listed as a babyface right now. So
I bet you Priest is too.
There hasn't been any
there's been no updated reporting on it, but I bet you he is.
I think they're building in towards it. But
absolutely. He's been honorable. Nothing but honorable.
I want that feud to be for the world title.
Because you want Finn Balor to win that world title. See, this is what you want. It's not what you think is going to happen.
It could happen.
It could.
Let me have hope.
Look. Hey, I would love nothing more than Finn Balor to win a world title again.
Listen, I really think it could happen too. I genuinely outside of me really wanting it to happen, I do think that is an avenue that they're exploring.
If Finn Balor wants to screw over Damian Priest, why does he let him win the match first?
I think that Balor helps Priest beat Gunther, despite Priest telling Balor to stay in the back. Priest berates him after the match like he did in France, like he's done after every defense that Balor's helped with. And Balor finally has had enough and snaps on Priest after the match.
Well, I guess time will tell, and when we'll do an updated show, probably before and or after SummerSlam, depending on when you can actually watch it because of that wedding.
I'm gonna try to get out of this wedding early. I am. And I feel bad because it's one of my boys, but
just watch it on your phone, dog.
No, I don't like watching wrestling on my phone. It's not the same. I want to watch it with people.
Well, listen, don't look. Be at the wedding, have fun.
Yeah.
If
I show up to the show late, I show up to the show late.
You're awful.
I know.
But, all right, well, hey, listen. Let's wrap this up. It's been a while, and we'll post it, get it up there, and maybe we can do a reaction here in a couple of weeks or so.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Hey, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
I appreciate you. Even though John Cena does not deserve to beat everybody and leave.
That's not what I said, Tim.
That's 100% what you said. He wants the old John Cena back where he beats everybody and then leaves. That's what he wants. That's
what I said.
Man wants. Anyway, this has been Wrestling with Tim. Thanks for listening. Have a good night, everybody. Bye, Ian.
Bye.